Okay, we had the belted Mimi last week, and now we have this guy merch. This is another. Would you call this now? Because we had a 2.0. Is this like still 2.0 or 2.1 then?
Just different versions.
But anyways, I just want to kind of really show you how I am so excited about these Mimi bags that we are like rethinking, reimagining how we could do what we started with. And if you don't know us and you just started following us, this is what we started with. We started with this one bag. This was in 2009. Matt came to me and said, Irene, I think I could start printing on 100% cotton. What would you like to do? I could have made anything with cotton. We could have made a shirt. We could have made anything, but I was like, I want to make a bag. And I want to make a bag that is not out there, but I just want to make a bag that's a luxurious tote bag. I thought that would be really cool, that I could monogram and put stripes on. So, no money, no factory would work with us because what are we going to make 5 of them? So what we did was I noticed our dry cleaner that I went to go hem my pants with almost all the time, 100% would just get it. Like she sewed like an Italian sewer, because when I was working at Donna Karan, I was in the pattern making room a lot. And I was working with some of the most talented Italian sewers, because we had our own sewing room back then, which is such a luxury like now, where we had our whole floor of a sample room basically. So we could just go back there and be like, hey, Donna wants to do this today. Can you make me this jacket? Here's the pattern. I mean, can you imagine, Matt?
Wow.
And then we would fit it and we would go back downstairs and be like, nope, we need to do X, Y, and Z. So I know exactly what a good pant would feel like when you hemmed it. So she did it. And I was like, I think she's got some chops. I'm going to go ask her. So she said yes. And she made our pattern and she made our first sample. It was made of a really, really raw canvas. It was the thickest one I could find at Joann's Fabric, because again, no supplier would work with us because you had to buy huge bulk minimums. So Matt and I had these little 50% off coupons from Joann's Fabric in California, and you could use one a day, one per person. Every day we would go there and buy 2 large bolts of fabric with our 50% coupon. Then
but we would go separately in line.
We would go separately, and sometimes I would be like, Matt, maybe I need to disguise myself because, well, like, wear a baseball cap. It was so dumb. Anyway,
mustache.
Yeah, mustache. So we would bring these bolts, bring it to our dry cleaning lady who was in our neighborhood, and she would sew these bags. It was insane. So this was the raw, and then what about the handles? Okay, we are not handbag makers, so all we could do was go to it was a cowboy
like saddle supply
store, and they had, I love this new, like it was just raw leather, and I thought, how chic. Just like a Louis Vuitton purse. When you get it, it's this raw leather, and as you start using it, it gets darker and darker to the point where it gets this dark, right? If you just keep using it. So Matt's like, I could cut 2 strips of leather and punch some holes, and then let's just rivet it.
Hand tools.
And bolt it together. And guess what, guys? This is how this bag came. So we would have these bodies made, and then Matt would punch holes, cut these leather strips, and then make these bags. And then I would customize all the art that was on here that Matt drew, and with monograms. And then we would press them, and then you would have these beautiful bags with your own monogram on. These were labors of love and like real, like I find that this is what our company is really about. It is really about being curious and being about just being scrappy and figuring stuff out, right, Matt? Mm-hmm. And it's really about functional luxury, okay? Like this is not just like you look at it and you're like, okay, this is basically a tarp fabric that painters stand, they step on it, we cover things with it, but how cool is it that you could then have it in a beautiful bag with this leather, and then you've got your monogram on it, and somehow it feels very luxurious. And I wanted a tote bag that just wasn't like, there was no tote bags out there where I was like, I want a tote bag that I could actually use as a handbag, but not an LL Bean tote, because that was too much of a weekender vibe to me at that time. So I was like, I want a handbag that feels like a tote bag. And that's really how our company really came to be. And it was also like, when you look at all the things we've done in the past, our e-stationery, all the things that we did, it was always about elevating very pedestrian things. Our trays, a common tray. Let's elevate it with beautiful art and your name on it. A common ice tray, a common coaster. Let's just elevate and make it feel really luxurious and personal to you. And that's what we do. And this is what we're all about, and nothing has really changed about that DNA of what we do. So anyhow, this was one of the first bags, and this isn't even one of the bags from the. I have to go into the warehouse.
This is already advanced version.
Yeah, this is an advanced version because the second, like when we went from the because when we started making more and more.
This is like 10 years later.
No, not 10 years later. A little bit later, like maybe a couple of years later. Like as we started making more and like kind of baby stepped out of the dry cleaner, I was like, we really need I want a canvas tote that actually stands up by itself. So this bag, there's nothing really in here, stands up by itself. And this was one of my criteria. So we had this beautiful bag made. I just love a beautiful square bag. And then it had 2 side pockets because our friend Katie Spade just said, you know what, Irene, the first bags that she had one of the OG ones, Matt. Mm-hmm. And she's like, Irene, I really need you to put 2 pockets in on the sides because I have glasses and I have my phone and I don't want to be looking for it all the time. I was like, genius. So we put 2 and then the other thing she taught me was don't make a bag so deep that you can't get your, have your elbow kind of be out so that you know this is about it. Because if it gets so deep, sometimes things just get lost, which I really, really believe in. And so I love that. So this is the OG Mimi tote that has not changed. And it's still, if you get our camo Mimi, it's the same Mimi. Then we started moving towards suede, leathers. But it was still the same bag because this is our bag, right? And we were like still a very young company. I really technically, I could only do certain things. I couldn't really draw. So we just kept going with this bag. Kept adding suede, kept adding leather. And this was one of the original suede bags that we had, Merge. It was so beautiful. Same exact bag. 2 D-rings, two pockets, and this is nylon lined.
That was in great shape.
It is, right? And this was really, really used. Okay, so how exciting. I am so excited about this bag, Matt. I love this bag. It comes in many colors, and I really, really believe in this bag. So this is the Mimi with binding, okay? And I love this one. This one is espresso with the red leather. And it looks like the Mimi, right? It has sort of a longer shoulder strap, which makes it very comfortable when you're toting things around. We added this cool feature. I love adding features, right? So this looks like this looks like the Mimis, right, Matt? The way it's standing up.
Totally.
But you could unsnap this, right? And then now it has little ears. I always call it ears. I don't know, bat wings. But now you've got a bag that looks like this, right? Yeah. And it looks so cool. And it's like a little softer, a little slouchier. I love the binding on it. And again, the pockets are no longer on the side, but now we have advanced pockets Merge in here.
Yeah, you had a laptop in there.
Yeah, so we have a laptop pocket, which is awesome. So you can put your 13-inch computer in here. It fits a 13-inch. If you have a 15, then just put it in the middle. It's not going to fit into this pocket. Then you've got all the space in here. Oh, here comes Bear. All the space in here to do anything. So I've got my sling bag in here, which is carrying my everyday things. And then we've got these great 2 pockets. So the 2 side pockets moved into over here with this beautiful leather binding. And I have my glasses here and my phone on this side. So it's the same idea that Katie gave me a long time ago, but it's just now in a different position and a little bit elevated, right? Because It's got the leather binding. It's still the same thing.
Same idea.
Right. So then we got this. What else do we have? Oh, and then now you could, I put the strap, so this is great. When you have your sling bag and then you put it inside your bag, you could take the strap off the sling bag when you need a crossbody. And then what you do is zip this bag up. You could use it as, let me come over here. You could use it as an over the shoulder, which is super comfortable. I'm 5'4". Lays really great on me. Or if you're running through the airport and you're like, I need this. I need a crossbody because I need to be super hands-free. This is great, right? Mm-hmm. And it's super comfortable. So I love this bag so much, and I love how it is still our Mimi bag. It's still beautiful and functional, but luxurious. It's this beautiful suede with there's 4 colors, and I just love all the colors. But it's still the same essence of what we started with, which is just this beautiful bag. And I just love that it's a little slouchier, and I really, really, really think you guys are going to love this, and I hope you love it so much. And it's just so exciting to see how this has kind of evolved. All right, guys, onward.